Yes. You got it.
Live here with Brody, Stephen Brody Stevens.
Yes, Stephen Brody Stevens.
Do you prefer the Brody or do you prefer the full Stephen Brody Stevens?
The more I hear Stephen Brody Stevens, it doesn't pop.
Mm-hmm.
Brody Stevens pops. That name, boom. People see this.
Right away.
Hear it, feel it. They're used to it.
Believe it.
Stephen Brody Stevens is more of a internet moniker. SBS I like, but it's an internet, because my real name isn't Brody Stevens. I mean, it's my last name. Everyone always called me Brody. I mean, that was like the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I felt like I wanted to keep that name in it, But when I heard, because Steve Brody to me wasn't like a funny name. That's my real name, Stephen James Brody.
Oh, wow. I actually didn't know that.
But like Steve Brody was a baseball player. Steve Brody wasn't a stand-up comedian. Brody was. And then when I had to come up with the name, I felt like, I was Steve Brody right at first, and then I was switching around, J. Brody Stevens, Brody. This Brody Stevens seemed to like work. And I just wasn't, I don't know if I was creative enough to even come up with a completely different name. Nobody called me anything other than just Brody.
Yeah.
So I felt like Brody Stevens. But then when I would hear that name, somebody else say it, like bringing me up, Brody Stevens, I felt like it wasn't me. And then when I would tell them, like I just told you, my name's Steve, it's like a letdown almost. I don't want to like let people down. So I feel like if I'd say Stephen Brody Stevens, at least I'd rather have them be confused than let down.
All right, that makes sense.
I'm not saying you were let down, but that's the way I take it in terms of like.
Whenever I said interesting, whenever I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, even that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because people, and also me, when I hear it, I know it's not really me. Me is, Stephen. That's really who I am. Mm-hmm. Stephen. But, as you get older and more, you grow, you move out of your mom's place, people start giving you nicknames.
Right.
Based off your last name.
Totally.
So, and I just knew people like the name Brody.
People called me J-Dub, J-Watt.
J Watt, there you go, JJ Watt.
Whenever I was growing up, I actually, like whenever I was really young, I hated to be called Jeremiah because it was like my full name, and for years I went by Jeremy, which that doesn't even feel like me.
Wow,
And then whenever I got a little bit older, I'm like, no, I like my name. I'm Jeremiah.
You were Jeremy?
Whenever I was a kid, I preferred being called Jeremy for whatever reason.
And then when you started doing comedy?
No.
You switched it up?
Whenever I had a chance to, whenever I went to public school in 8th grade, they say, what is the preferred name you'd like to be called? And I was like, I've never been asked that before. I always just like pushed away that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm Jeremiah. I like my name.
Jeremiah has spoken. Jeremiah spoken. Do, 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 do. Jeremiah spoken. I usually call people by their full name, usually. David Spade, I think I call him Dave. But most people...
You call them their full name?
Full name. I don't know. It was never like... I don't always call people by their nickname.
Yeah. You always call me Jeremiah and usually go, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, articulation.
Well,
it's also like, I think... sports background, you respect people, I mean, nicknames are popular also in baseball, so in sports, of course.
Did you have a nickname whenever you played baseball?
Bro, didn't have to go.
Nothing like Slugfest or anything like that, or the spaghetti arms, or no,
I know
nothing like that.
I never had that. I mean, Awesome Ostrich.
Ostrich.
Awesome Os. That somebody
I like that.
As a kid, like I ran like an ostrich.
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
I want to see you as an animated ostrich. I would love to see that cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody wants to do it, I'm not... Me personally, I don't know. I mean...
Guys, if anybody's out there that's into animation, they want to do either a Photoshop or, an animated Brody as an ostrich, I think everybody would appreciate that.
Well, I think I'm easy to animate. I think people I've seen caricatures. I have some strong features that it make me identifiable. So I think if you could just take my head and put it on an ostrich
I've got
neck.
some strong features as well, my friend.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
definable features,
Yeah.
dark hair, chin. We're tall, we're bold.
Yeah.
You can say strong nose, strong chin, strong shoulders.
Strong jawline, strong pecs, strong clavicles.
Yes. But you're actually, you could play a lot of different characters. You mix it up. I don't know if I would be can play as so many characters. Maybe because my facial hair. I mean, they say that on Saturday Night Live. They don't like them to have facial hair.
Well, it's funny. For the longest time, I had a lot of scruff and was very beardy. But recently on Kill Tony, we've been doing so many different characters every week that I can't keep facial hair, because if we're playing women, or like I was just David Bowie on Wednesday for a show, most of to blend into different people, it's usually you got to be clean shaven, so you can put like makeup on, or I put my hair into wig caps a lot to put wigs over it and stuff like that.
So yeah, that's that's an advantage though, being clean shaven, not relying on that. That's like an old Saturday Night Live thing. Lorne Michaels said that.
Yeah, and Belushi had a beard before he joined the cast, and he's like, you gotta
shave it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a known story. That's not like a old wives' tale.
No, Bobby Moynihan also had a big bushy beard right before he joined the cast, and they're like, yeah, you gotta shave up and then come in.
But for me, like shaving would just irritate my skin.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I really gave up on shaving, because of irritation.
You have a strong beard line always. It's always. Do you?
I got it
do you do
lasered.
it
I got it lasered.
Did you really?
Years ago, because it was the shaving. I had so much.
So intense every day you'd have to do it?
Yeah, I just didn't want to shave, and it was. I mean, such a long time ago. I forget how it was, but my skin would get irritated, and when you get the laser, just helped out with that irritation. Like it would be a bloodbath when I would shave, like just of irritation.
Yeah,
that's why people grow beards. I think a lot of it is just
to cover up.
Yeah, I mean, I would I'd like bad rosacea from shave, just irritation. So that was it wasn't a time thing. It was like painful to have to shave a couple days in a row. I mean, you can train your skin, I guess. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, so many people have beards. I like it. I like the trend that beards are, mainstream. You can have a beard and scruff even and be a newscaster. You can have a beard and have scruff and be an announcer.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, you couldn't really,
Do you think guys like yourself and like your bud Zach Galifianakis, like trendsetters in the beard community?
It's possible. I mean, look, Zach made the beard. I mean, he was one of the guys who kind of brought.
Because whenever you guys, after the Hangover movies, you started seeing a lot of guys. I mean, the hipster era was that time,
right?
And it started to blossom and grow. You started seeing a lot of dudes with beards, especially comedians who were kind of chubbier guys who started sporting a little bit more facial hair and stuff like that.
Zach inspired him for that.
Yeah, I feel like it was noticeable for me as a comedian seeing it, but I don't know.
So maybe maybe in that way, my beard helped that. I didn't have a beard in college. You couldn't have one. You had to be clean shaven. And but I would have a beard sometimes, or have like a goatee or whatever. And then I would have like a bad show or not a good show. And I feel like the goatee or the beard made me more intimidating. That there is a thing like facial hair on a certain level is intimidating.
Well, you with a goatee might look more villainous and less welcoming. You never know.
Yeah, right. You have the beard, the goatee, the mustache. I do think luckily I have those options.
Like if you sport a goatee, you might be one of the villains from Taken all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
The goatee gives me that look. And then you can dye it, you can not dye it. You can, there's just a lot of options with that. The beard, then you're turning more into a Persian, Arabic, maybe Russian.
Yeah.
And then clean shaven. Then here's the other thing. I'm clean shaven, I get sweat like on my upper lip. That was another reason
upper
why.
Lip sweat?
Yeah, exactly. So upper lip sweat. And I think also I have a funny mouth from what I heard. And I think when you have the beard, the hair's in the way, it kind of can take away from some of the funniness. That's why I tell some of these comedians, I don't tell them, but I see the comedians, some of them hold that mic right up, they can't see their mouth.
Yeah.
Not only is it like weird, it's a communication block. It's something, it's a block, it's a physical block, but it's also, we're not seeing your face. And I think part of that, with the beard, you can kind of lose some of that weirdness. Those bird-like features get lost within the nest of the beard.
I like the wordplay with the nest of the beard.
There you go.
With the bird.
Yes. Nest. I mean, you got the Nest security cameras are everywhere. You've got the bird scooters. I mean, a lot of...
What do you think of the bird scooters? Because let me tell you something. I can't stand them, Brody. I can't stand the bird scooters.
You can't stand seeing them. You can't stand riding them.
I have not ridden one yet, and everybody tells me I need to ride one before I make my judgment. But right now, I can't stand looking at them.
Why? Is it because they're pretentious? They're in the way?
I think it's pretentious. I think it's in the way. I think that the people who drive them around are a nuisance.
Right.
I'm like an old man whenever I see them. I get angry. Like I was walking down the sidewalk and 3 passed me and I had to like get out of the way and like I'm like,
what are they, like European tourists? Are these adults? Are they kids on the scooters?
They're like, young 20s, like mid 20s, like kind of hipster people who are floating around on them. And I don't like them.
So you don't like them that they're on the sidewalk, or they're kind of impeding it where
and people leave them in clumps of litter. They just throw them on the side of the sidewalk. They're not even like on a kickstand or anything. I don't know if other people are pushing them over or what.
Right.
But it's frustrating.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. I haven't the proliferation, the prolification, the overabundance of these scooters. You see them, I guess, in Venice, probably Hollywood,
Santa Monica. Yeah,
Santa Monica.
Yeah.
You're not. I haven't been seeing them too much around my neighborhood. Luckily, I guess I did notice when I went to Venice a couple weeks ago. They were everywhere. Look, you've had some personal run-ins. No pun intended, or pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to ride them. I'm nervous because
they go pretty fast.
I hear they go fast.
Yeah.
Knowing my luck, I get excited. Maybe something would happen. Also, I just don't want to get hurt. It's just what's the advantage of the scooter as opposed to a bicycle? I don't even ride a bicycle around.
Me neither.
I don't trust crazy drivers.
I think the CEO of Birds is calling in there. I think they're pretty upset that I'm talking about them in not a positive way right now.
They're going to... Oh, they have your number?
Yep, they're on the caller ID. Right. Hello? Is this the CEO of Birds?
Yes, it is. This is Birds. Very upset.
Well, okay, Mr... Your last name isn't Bird, is it?
First name's Larry.
First name Larry, last name Bird?
You got it.
So, I'm talking crap on your company right now. All right, buddy? So, yeah. I need to figure out what...
We call those bird droppings.
Whenever people make fun.
We have a section on our website called Bird Droppings.
And it's all just the highlighted content of what people upset, like myself?
Negative reviews.
Okay, well, I have an issue. I'm glad that I can talk to you about it. I want birds to become extinct. There, I said it.
Wow. They are a part of society. Bird is here to stay. We signed a contract. We're tracking your number. We have it coming up from Hollywood. So we signed a contract with the mayor of Los Angeles, and Bird is here to stay.
Well, that's pretty frustrating. I heard that you're actually getting outlawed in some cities because people are just throwing them around and they're becoming clutter. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, that's Malibu. We're talking L.A., city proper, this neighborhood, this sidewalk.
So I have to keep looking at these people that are flying by on your product and just dumping them wherever they please. That's gonna stay for a while?
See, you haven't done your research. A bird scooter is biodegradable. Those bird scooters you see lying in a pile, they get recycled.
Oh, really? So
we recycle.
You're telling me that if I leave a bird scooter on somebody's lawn for long enough, the lawn's going to soak it up and it's going to go back into the earth.
Like compost.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to give it a shot then. If they're that good for the environment, okay.
You can't judge every bird by its cover.
I don't think that's I think that's a different expression.
Let me check the manual.
Mm-hmm.
No, it says, don't judge us. We're good. We're equal opportunity.
That's what it says in your employee handbook. Don't judge us.
Don't judge us.
Uh-huh.
We're equal opportunity. We're here to stay in Hollywood, but we're watching you. Just to let you know, Larry Bird. We have the technology. We have the apps. We know birds. Have you heard of GPS?
Yeah, I've heard of GPS.
George Pierre Sinclair.
I didn't know that that's what it stood for. I thought it.
He was the guy who invented the bird technology, George Pierre Sinclair.
So wait, you, Larry Bird, the CEO of Birds, you didn't even invent the technology. You just saw that it was a good idea and you packaged it and put it out there and put your name on it.
You got it.
Wow. You sound a little bit like the Steve Jobs of birds.
That's right. We create the technology, you provide the housing. And you better stay on shift. Don't jump out the window.
The bird housing.
Birds are pretty cool. And we just feel like birds.
I sorry to interrupt. I haven't heard much from Brody during this phone call. Brody, what do you think of this whole thing?
This Bird guy has a really unique point of view. He was, I expected shtick, but I was really just getting into the message.
Larry, are you still on the line?
Yeah, I'm right here. Brody, this is Larry.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry. This is Brody.
I think you're doing a good job. You understand about positive energy, and we're looking for that with the Bird Company. How about this? Bird and Brody. How does that sound?
You know, it sounds pretty good. Bird and Brody.
Okay, it sounds like you two are very much on the same page. He even said positive energy at one point.
Like Lenny and Larry, Bird and Brody.
Yeah, it's like...
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It does.
Brody.
Larry?
What's up?
I'm doing good.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Enjoy? Go ahead, Jeremiah.
All right, we're gonna let Larry Bird go. Thanks for calling in, Larry.
You got it.
See you later, Larry.
It sounds like you guys are very much on the same page. Did you used to work at Birds? Did you help with the startup or anything, Brody? You guys it's almost like you guys had similar. I don't know. I'm going crazy. I could have sworn for a second that you guys had almost similar to the way you talked, even and like cadence, even.
It's catching on. I don't know what it is. It's just
you put good energy out there, Brody, and I think that people really absorb it and they take it, and sometimes they take what you give them and they put their own spin on it and they use it in their life.
And you saw it happen right there through technology, calling in, feeling my energy, Larry Bird connecting with Brody. As I'm adjusting the mic here.
Okay. I'll let you adjust.
How'd the mic get lower? What do I do to raise it?
Here, just...
Now the bit, pull out. Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. I felt that I could have changed my voice maybe on it, right?
Uh-huh.
But I thought there's some funniness happening. What's going on? You're moving it around?
Sorry, I'm just doing a bit for me at this point.
Jeremiah's doing a bit for himself.
I was doing a video bit where Brody was unaware that I was continuing to move the mic away from his mouth.
Sense that.
And then he kept going after it. And
I was decent with that bit. I was...
you know what? I enjoyed it.
Larry Bird
I enjoyed it.
I mean, I would edit it down maybe. I don't know. There's some definite highlights.
Oh, no.
Definite highlights from that. It's not my character strength, but maybe it is. But if I think about it too much, that's my thing. It's like I'm funny when I'm alone. I'm funny when there's no stakes involved. I'm funny when you least expect it. That's why I'm good at audience warm-up. That's why I'm good at doing the late spot. You go, oh, who's the audience warm-up guy? Oh, well, he actually does a pretty good job. And then if you throw in a couple jokes or maybe something funny, then that's even better.
Right.
And then same thing with you're doing the comedy store. Oh, this guy's late at night. Nobody cares. And then you end up, oh, nobody cares? Watch this. And I'm going to live stream it. Yes!
Do you find that whenever you live stream sets that it gives you more incentive to crush harder, or are you just so used to streaming sets at this point where you're just like, it's another one that I'm just going to throw out there? Because you're one of the few comedians that will Periscope a 45-minute to an hour set and put it straight online. Not many comedians are comfortable enough doing that.
They're not, probably not. It's dumb. It's not a smart thing. I wouldn't call it smart, but also I'm not giving away too many jokes on that. And the jokes that I am giving away are like, we've heard them. And at the end of the day, not so many people are going to see it, however many people. But my theory behind the doing the live streaming, whether it be on like Instagram Live or, I do Periscope, I guess you could do Facebook Live too, is, not to bomb. My goal is, because I have a safe word. If I'm doing bad, there's a safe word like to stop this scope.
Oh, really?
Well, unless I put it up on the ledge and then it's just on its own. Like that's a scary one. When you, like in the original room, I've done this a couple times, like to take the phone on Instagram Live and put it up on a ledge, as opposed to having like one of the door guys who want to hold it or a friend who wants to let me hold it. They like to hold it sometimes. Yeah. But you put it up there, then it's going bad. You're like stuck, and they can get out there. But that doesn't happen, and luckily it hasn't really happened. I put it on, and it's more about, if I do it, it's just more fun. I'm sharing. It's like I know people like it. They like seeing the live.
Yeah, well, you're always very present, which I have always enjoyed. I've for years I've watched Brody's sets. He closes out the main room on Saturday nights usually at the Comedy Store, and if you haven't seen him live do a longer set, I like your 15-minute sets, but you get the full Brody experience whenever you see those headlining sets closing out the main room,
Yeah, I'm not rushed.
And then you see them play, and that's what I always like to see comedians play, because I love everybody's writing process, but like whenever I get to see like their essence of like, when everything's stripped away, that's when I'm like, that's the guy or girl that I want to watch right now.
Well, yeah, I like to definitely like play around. It's always more fun to play in that spot, and it's, you got to get laughs. Playing is one thing, but it's like we got an audience. You want to make sure the audience is in on it too, but because you can play, it can be fun, just the comedians too. But that's a thing. Like when you're playing, hopefully the comedians know when you're good and you know each other, you like let the crowd enjoy it also.
Right.
It's not just like it's not too inside. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you're not only playing to the very back of the room, because that's sometimes dangerous whenever there's comedians where you're killing just for them, but then you look around and you realize you're like, oh, this audience is not getting this.
Yeah, I don't do that. Like the door guys, they're usually like flanked out on the side at the Comedy Store in the main room there. So if I'm playing with them, they're usually like a part of it. And I talk to the sound guy, but it's not like scripted out, and it's not always. But it's just like they're just they're part of the show. Sometimes I go to them, sometimes I don't. But maybe they want to talk to me, but it's also it's about the show. We'll never It's about giving the audience a show.
You and I used to do this bit for years where I had your app, your soundboard app. I had it on my phone, and after Brody would hit a punchline from the back or the middle of the room, I would hit the soundboard and go, yes, and then you would go, who said that? And then I would hit it again.
Yeah.
And then you would find out, you'd interview me quickly, and I would say that I was an app developer and that I actually put together a soundboard without your permission and that I've been selling it online and making money.
But I really was. I did have that app. Right, I don't think it's up anymore. I need to get it up.
Oh, it's not up anymore?
I don't think so. That's something that I should promote, that soundboard.
I loved that soundboard.
I think it was on Android. I don't know if it was available on, but I need to update it.
Yeah,
and add new sounds.
Lost it whenever my phone broke, and my phone flatlined, and I couldn't get it back on the other one.
I do need to update it. But that's the fun thing about the Comedy Store, is playing around. Definitely.
If you were to do a new soundboard, what would be the 5 sound bites you'd have to have on there?
Well, I guess we would have yes.
1.
You got it.
Number 2.
Push.
3.
See, but push and believe. I don't know.
Maybe push and believe would be 3.
Apple cider vinegar. Iodine drops. See, then you have these other ones. I'm good. How dare you? Stand back and respect me.
818 till I die.
Yes, 818 till I die.
I went to
Respect it.
Reseda High School.
I went to Reseda High School, home of the Karate Kid and Boogie Nights.
I drink coffee bean on the reg.
I actually have been going back to Coffee Bean, switching it up.
Yeah,
I've
so
been
what-
going to more Starbucks the last few
People
years.
are curious what's going on because you died cold brew at Starbucks for a while, and then you switched camps, went over to Coffee Bean.
Well, I have my go-to Starbucks. I have my go-to locations. A lot of times I just need to get out of the house.
Have people ever seen your live streams at a Starbucks or a Coffee Bean and tried to meet you there or tried to show up or anything like that? Like, I think that Brody hangs out at this one, or I see that he's streaming from here right now. I'm going to go on over there and say what's up.
No, not really. I've had I would say like Coffee Beans definitely. Like if I'm periscoping, I think a lot. Like if I'm walking, doing a Steps with Steve, and I'm out like on Laurel Canyon and Riverside Drive in the valley, I'll get people who like will shout stuff out, like driving by. Yes, Brody. I get that. That will happen.
Yeah.
I haven't had too many people go, "Oh, I saw you on the Periscope. I ran over here." I guess luckily I haven't had too much of that. But I don't know. The Starbucks, that was like, I was going to that Starbucks. I'd be doing a lot of my Periscopes there, doing that. And it would bring out people, bring out certain energies, but nothing crazy, luckily.
Oh, no.
What happened? Another call?
We got a caller. It's a disgruntled Starbucks employee, Brody, and I think
I have no problem with employees. It's customers.
I
What's,
think they're good. I think
okay,
they're-
I'll hear them out. Go ahead.
Hear them out. I'm gonna get them
Okay.
on the line real quick.
All right, let me hear them out.
Is this Brody Stevens?
Yeah, it's Brody. Stephen Brody Stevens.
Stephen Brody Stevens, okay. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You used to come in my Starbucks every day, right?
Yeah, I
You
did.
remember?
Laurel Canyon and Riverside.
Laurel Canyon, Riverside. Okay, here's the thing, Brody. I waited on you, hand and foot, every day for years, okay? You did your streams. I let you take your pictures for the Instagram.
Yeah.
Never made one complaint.
No.
And then all of a sudden, you switch camps on us. And you go to our number one rival, Coffee Bean. Now what the heck is that all about, huh?
I'll tell you what, Starbucks, it just got a little out of control there. It got a little wild. It got a little political. You never know if there's going to be some kind of protest going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Coffee Bean is more family.
Oh, you think it's more chilling stuff over there, huh?
Yeah, I would say there's more warmth.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what could we do to make it a little bit more warm for you, Stephen Brody Stevens?
I need more family atmosphere. I want to see families.
Then go to the freaking Olive Garden, okay? Whenever you come to Starbucks, hold out your coffee, grab your dick, and we'll fill it up.
It used to be families. There used to be
No,
PTA meetings.
It was built on cock and coffee. That's the Starbucks that I know and that I work for.
No, the Starbucks I grew up on. PTA meetings, books, journaling, and fellowship. And then it turned into some political Antifa base camp. And I sensed it, and I said, I'm out. And since I've been out, I've seen Jeff Probst from Survivor. I've seen Ben Shapiro, who's a conservative radio voice. And I made the right choice.
You know what? The Starbucks that I knew, whenever I was growing up, hunting knives, rope, and truck nuts. That's the Starbucks that I grew up with. I don't know what kind of Starbucks.
Sounds like a Ted Nugent concert.
Maybe it was. Maybe I went there with my father. My father loves Ted Nugent.
There you go. Rock it out.
Rock it out with
Upper
your cough out.
PI. Rock it out with your cough
Cough out.
Let me say something.
That's the Starbucks that I know, Brody. So sorry that, we want cookie cutter enough for you and you want to sit on some maybe recliner or a leather couch over a Coffee Bean.
They are comfortable, yeah, because the customers could handle leather. upholstery.
Oh, you don't think that our clientele are nice enough where, they wouldn't keep the leather upholstered, huh?
No, they had to bring in chairs.
Did it bring in chairs?
Chairs made out of bird scooters. Biodegradable chairs made from bird scooters they had to use at Starbucks. And I said, that's it. I'm fighting for straws. I'm fighting Antifa meeting get-togethers. I saw a weapon the other day. I'm out. I'm going to Coffee Bean. I want to be around yarmulkes, leather chairs, and little rabbit ice pellets. Better ice at Starbucks. Coffee Bean. I made a mistake. Coffee Bean.
Thought I had you back for a second.
Coffee Bean has rabbit pellet ice. Thank you.
Okay. Well, some of that stuff, sounds a little bit nice.
Yeah, and the flavored, the lattes, they are known for their flavored drinks.
I mean, we got our options, but I'm just curious. I've never been to Coffee Bean before. What kind of options do they got?
Well, first of all, they have Wi-Fi.
They got Wi-Fi?
They have Wi-Fi.
Are you serious?
They have Wi-Fi, yes.
We just have Ethernet cords that are sticking out of the walls at Starbucks.
It's all wireless. The whole building is wireless charging.
I thought they only had that technology for phones in your home.
No, it's there at Starbucks.
I'm calling from a landline right now, okay?
You're calling from a landline.
I'm calling from a landline.
That's what they force you to do at Starbucks. They force you to call from a landline. If you're at Coffee Bean, everything's digital. Everything is 5G.
Brody, please help me. I'm a prisoner over at Starbucks. I'm just realizing all the opportunities over at Coffee Bean. I gotta get out.
Why don't stay tight, sit tight. What time does Starbucks?
You gotta get me out of here, Brody.
I have a chance to swing by. You meet me outside.
I'll meet you in the alley.
Meet me in the alley.
Okay.
You hop on the back of my bird scooter, and I will take you to my Coffee Bean.
Are you? Oh, you better not cry right now, because that's gonna make me cry.
Yes, it's real. We have couches.
Because if you save my life from this Starbucks, I will owe you one forever, Mr. Stevens.
Well, mark this down on your calendar. It's happening. I'm going to pick you up like Arnold Schwarzenegger picked up that kid in Terminator 2. You hop on the bike and you'll be a little Eddie Furlong and you ride along with me.
When you say you'll be back, you mean it? You mean it? You're coming.
I'm coming back.
You're coming back for me. I thought I was going to be lost forever. I thought that I would never get a hold of you again. I'm just a big fan of the show, and you happen to be a guest on the show, so I figured I'd call in.
You put out positive energy. You put the effort out. I pick up on that. I was born Jewish, raised Gemini. I'm reading your energies. I allowed for this phone call to penetrate the airwaves.
I appreciate you letting me penetrate your heart today. And I'll see you in the alley in 37 minutes, okay?
You got it. Mark it down on our GPS.
Goodbye.
Or George.
Thank you.
Pierre Sinclair. Very emotional.
That was a little bit of an emotional roller coaster.
I mean, that kid, what was his name? I didn't get his name.
Okay. It says on the caller ID it was Dylan.
Oh, Dylan. Great
Yeah.
name. I get that a lot. These kids, they come at me hard. It's a full court press.
Well, it's like he was really like, it wasn't even like he was upset about that you were going to a new coffee place. It was like he was upset because you left him behind. He wanted to get out of there. He was a prisoner of his own isolation.
Yeah, he created it. I mean, of his mind.
If you create the negativity, it will build around you.
Yeah, I tried to show him I said, Dylan, look, you've got the Antifa. The PTA meetings are gone. Remember those days when we used to put the tables and we used to sit around the tables?
Of course.
You can't find a PTA meeting. You have to fight for straws.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to talk about the restrooms. Don't even make me go there.
Well, it's clear why you left. Let's bring us to our next segment, Pizza Party.
Yes, pizza. You got it. One of my favorite dishes on the plate.
Pizza, 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 pizza time for a pizza party.
Pizza.
One of your favorite dishes on the plate, pizza. That's an exact quote from
Yes, you got it.
You got it.
Steven Pizza Stevens.
Now we have
Pizza Brody Stevens.
Pizza Brody Stevens, hot
I
and ready. You
am
got it.
Back.
Now, we haven't done the pizza party segment on this show in
Okay.
a while. I was very happy that I was able to supply you with pizza, and you took me up on it, because I used to get pizzas for my guests, and believe it or not, they would turn it down, and then the segment would be blown.
Why would they turn it down? Because they ate before, or they had
either-
something against pizza,
They
the
ate
flavoring?
before. They ate before. They're on an LA food diet, or they're trying to eat healthy or exercise or something. And I'm like, how do you turn down pizza?
But that's why you exercise, so you can eat pizza.
This guy gets it.
And then how do you exercise if you don't have the fuel of the ingredients
of the carbs
pizza?
of the pizza.
Exactly. People are like putting down pizza. I mean, LeBron James wouldn't own a pizza chain. What does he own? Blaze Pizza or Baked Pizza? He owns a pizza chain.
Does LeBron own Blaze?
Yeah.
Get out of
He's
here.
a part owner. Yeah.
Get the
So,
F out.
He's healthy. He drinks Gatorade. So
We know he's healthy.
that's right.
And not even G2, the original.
The original. Michael Chang, who's also a tennis player, he owns a pizza. I think he owns Pieology. There's like Pieology.
I've
There's
had that
Pizza
one.
Rev. There's Blaze.
I've tried multiples. Blaze is still my favorite out of those.
Yeah, Blaze. I had Blaze yesterday or Pie. I forget. But are they going to all merge eventually? I mean, is that what's going to happen? Like,
It's like the Apple takeover, or like Disney is just like consuming different places.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think like what stores merged before. Weren't there other companies that merged?
Did
Like
somebody,
Time Warner
like
Cable.
Gateway, maybe like was bought out by like
But Blockbuster merged with somebody. Didn't Blockbuster merge with the Hollywood Video?
they probably
Yeah, I gotta like sharpen up my terms on that. But that's how I feel like they're gonna have they gotta like work together. I mean, I feel like there'll be a Jersey Mike's Subway combination store. That would really blow your mind.
maybe Jersey Mike's Good Sense.
Now, Good Sense is a good what store is that?
Mr. Good Sense. It's only in the Midwest.
Oh, only in the Midwest.
Yeah.
You know what they need out here in LA is a Potbelly. We don't have Potbelly
Wait,
sandwiches.
what's that?
That's in the Midwest.
I've never heard of it.
Are you serious? I had one in Kansas City. They're in Chicago.
It's called Potbelly?
Yeah,
I've literally-
Potbelly sandwiches.
I'm from Kansas City, never heard of Potbelly.
They're very good.
What kind of
Cheddar, chicken cheddar, roast beef, tuna. They have malts. They have cookies. They have
sounds good.
lettuce.
sounds great.
And it's got a warm vibe in there. It reminds me of a coffee bean. Starbucks got too harsh, too aggressive, too
In your face with the advertising.
well. They're not really the advertising, but I feel like the architecture. There's not a lot of warmth in a Starbucks.
No, it's very corporate.
I would say yes. They are corporate. Good call. I think that's the word I was looking for.
I think so. I used to work there. What?
Whoa.
Yeah. And I hated the place.
Yeah, you're right. Corporate.
Corporate's the exact word.
It's very
They would
weighed out. Everything's weighed out.
I did this thing at Starbucks where I used to wear a mustache.
A fake one.
It was a fake mustache.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
Because there's nothing in the handbook that says that you can't wear a fake mustache.
Right.
Because the only facial hair that they allow you at Starbucks is a mustache. Now it's more flexible with the beards, but whenever I worked there, you could only have a mustache, no other facial hair. So I was like, okay, I'm not allowed to have a beard. I'm gonna wear a fake mustache. And the customer would be like, what's going on with your? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, was this Starbucks in Kansas City?
Nope, this was Starbucks in Beverly Hills.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy
High
it.
end. A lot of guys have worked at Starbucks. A lot of comedians have had day jobs at Frank Castillo.
Frank Castillo, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Tony used to.
List goes on.
There's a lot of them. Starbucks does. It's a hard job, I bet you.
Yeah, it was.
It's a hard job. You know what I find about Starbucks? It's kind of humiliating or kind of weird. You'll see employees, you see them all the time. You get to know them. And then you'll see them, like the head and like the manager will talk to the other employee like they don't even know each other. Like, you need to clean the restrooms. Can you go out there and reset the tables? We need some ice. There's like, you don't see them. They don't talk like they are, what's the word I'm saying? Like friends. It's like a very business.
It's a very cold relationship where it's just like there's no love. It's just like barking orders rather than, hey, would you mind going do this? It's like, list. There it is. Do it.
Yeah, exactly. But once they're off the clock, but they have the sensibility to be more friendly, have more social skill.
Yeah.
You watch them. It's just kind of a weird Starbucks. It's like when the employee wants to get something, they make them wait in line. I always think that's funny. Like, it's a long line.
Oh, yeah.
And the
It's just
guy just got off his shift and he has to wait in the back of the line. It's like, give me a break. Let
Yeah.
the guy go up to the front and get a drink. Isn't there like an employee line? You know, that kind of stuff is like always weird to me.
I still remember my employee ID there
Oh, really?
because you had to type it in every day. 10035229.
Wow, is that the combination to the restroom? Isn't that
I think
weird?
somebody's calling in right now.
But how did that happen? You called, you said that number. Did it activate your phone?
You know what? I don't know. I think somebody's trying to call into the show right now.
Okay, who? Let's pick it up.
Okay. Oh wow. It's you won't believe this.
Okay.
It's Chuck E. Cheese. He's actually calling in.
Wait, the actual Chuck E. Cheese.
The actual Chuck E.
Oh,
Cheese.
I've always wanted to meet this guy.
Okay.
I want to hear his story.
Okay. Hello, Chucky. Chuck E. How are you?
Hey, is this Steve?
Well, yeah, Chucky, you would know me as Steve. I had my 14th birthday there at Chuck E. Cheese in Northridge.
You know what? That's what I actually wanted to call about. Because, you guys kept talking about Starbucks in this pizza party segment. I'm like, hey, why don't we talk about the party that Steven had at my place, my facility, whenever he's 14?
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese on Reseda up there in Northridge. It was fun. We had tokens. We played the hammer game. We played skeet ball.
It's called whack-a-mole, you silly bird.
Yeah, bird scooter. There it is again. That's a theme.
Through line.
Yeah, there you arc, story, beginning, middle, end,
Noah, Ark. Keep going.
connection, animal, zoo, cheese, rat,
Topia. Pizza rat.
tapokia, yogurt.
Tapioca.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. Yogurt
Yeah.
flavors, yogurt flavoring. What are your yogurt flavorings?
Well,
Yeah.
we got ricotta yogurt. We got Swiss mozzarella yogurt. What was your favorite thing about
I'm a cheddar yogurt guy.
Are you?
Yeah, cheddar is.
Sometimes I get the cheese right from the tap. You know what I'm saying? I just squeeze
Oh,
on the milk
yeah.
stit,
Oh,
right into
yeah.
the mouth. I churn it in the, spit it around, gargle it. You got your cheese straight from Chucky.
Now, Chucky, are you with the popularity of Pizza Rev and Baked and Pieology, the do-it-yourself, unlimited toppings pizza game that we're in? Is there a chance that Chuck E. Cheese may go that route?
You know what? I'm a little bit terrified that we might go under. But you know what all those other companies don't have? They don't have a giant rat that's scary, that walks around their facility and encourages people to come back. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's called nostalgia right there.
Well, I mean, a rat in this day and age might not be too good for the rankings.
What, you don't think it's a good mascot for a food establishment?
I would say no.
Really?
Yeah, rats.
Pizza rat.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I think you might. And look, Chucky, I like
Wait,
you.
are you saying I need to do a rebranding thing like Domino's did, like in the late 2000s, whenever they admitted, hey, we're horrible, we suck at this, we're going to do better, and we're going to create new ingredients. Do you think I need a makeover, Brody Stevens?
That's what I'm getting at. I think if you catered to the do-it-yourself pizza, take a handful of chicken, handful of pineapple, handful of...
You want little kids to just run through the line and grab their own product?
Exactly.
Now that sounds disgusting and not sanitary, and even less sanitary than having a rat as a mascot.
But they have gloves on. They do that. They grab in.
Oh, this like part of the prize packet. The counter with the glass, you get a picket like it's a Subway, but you're like, hey, I'm a little grubby kid. I'm gonna grab my little grubby kid hands, put the chicken and the like different pepperonis and the pepperoncinis.
You're doing it yourself. It's like the Children's Museum. These are like hands-on.
It's like a ride, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's more than a ride. I mean, you're learning. You're touching.
It's more than a ride. It's an experience.
Bingo. It's more than a ride. It's an experience. Come back
That's
to
what
Chuck E.
ladies say
Cheese.
about my dick. Whoops, I wasn't allowed to say that. I'm a children's mascot. What am I doing here? Gotta go.
Did we lose him?
He really.
He was. I don't know.
Because you can't say that these days,
You
right?
definitely can't say that.
I mean,
you can't say that about your penis. That it's more. It's not. It's more than a ride. It's an experience. You can't say that.
I mean, this guy. What was it? Papa John's got into trouble. This guy's pushing it.
He's edgy.
He's too edgy.
Maybe he's too edgy.
And I try to convey that in this phone call. Like, hey, bud, chill.
Cool your jets.
I've got some. I mean, look, I had a good experience. Like, Chuck E. Cheese. Come on back is a good one. Chuck E. Cheese, you had a great time when you were 14. We're still here. There's a lot of ways you can look at it.
That one sounds a little creepy, though. Like, hey, you had a great time when you were 14. Why don't you come back?
Yeah. But I'm
delivered different, probably.
There you go. Delivered different.
Like more like mechanical. Like, you had a great time when you were 14. Come on back. Instead of, hey, you were here when you were 14, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Brody, why don't you come on back? Come on. I know you want to come back.
What are your hours?
We're open all night long.
Well, I'm looking for a lunch special.
We're not really a lunch special, kind of. That is one weakness of Chuck E. Cheese.
That's what I'm getting at.
They don't have a lunch special.
I mean, can you go to Chuck E. Cheese in the afternoon? Like, I want to go to lunch at 12. I got from 12 to 1.
I'm a male adult. I want their pizza. It's good. It brings me back to my childhood. Can I get a lunch special?
There you go.
But no, you got to have a kid with you? What?
Is that what you have to have a kid to
you
go
do
in
now
there?
Because I think they started having some issues with some guys just hanging out for, the eye candy.
So, well, where can you get one of these kids to hang out with?
You know what? I think that we need to develop an app where you hang out with kids so you can take them to Chuck E. Cheese with you and you can enjoy. I think it's worth the trouble of creating the app and the technology and getting the permission from the parents. I think it's totally.
But you've heard of like Big Brothers.
Yeah.
I use them to help me move. Sign up a couple kids. Come on down. Help me move.
Help me move.
I need Big Brothers.
Let's get into this next segment.
Yes, next segment.
Fanning out.
Fanning out. Yes, this is fanning out.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
All right. I reached out to people on social media, and they reached right back, and I asked them if they could ask Stephen Brody. Stephen,
okay,
any question.
Let's see if I like.
What would it be? This is my favorite question. I'm going to open with it. This is from @SpinnersMedia on Twitter.
Don't know him.
Don't know him? You're about to? Brody, put together a baseball team made up of stand-up comics. Who's on the team and what position? Obviously, you are the pitcher.
Yep.
And the Sklar brothers make the team. That's what they said.
Sklar brothers, they would. I would put those two like second base and shortstop.
I knew you were going to say that.
They've got to be like.
They got to
be turning a double play.
Yep.
Baseball. Who are some? Well, we got guys. Yeah, I think you will tomorrow. I'm doing something with the guys from Crab Feast.
Jay Larson and Ryan Sickler.
Jay Larson and Ryan Sickler. I mean, they're going to be competing for a spot on my team tomorrow.
Wow.
But I think I'd like. I think. Jay Larson, I could see him playing like third base.
Mm-hmm.
These guys would be the corners. Like, he would be third base. Sickler's not as big as Jay. Jay's bigger.
Yeah.
Jay is like a third
He's a big
baseman.
dude. Yeah.
Sickler could be, I see him being like a left fielder guy, like almost maybe a utility guy. Could play from left field, and he can also play at second base if he has to. First base, that's usually like a big bopper. First baseman, like maybe somebody who's lefty. Are you left-handed?
No.
Do you like baseball?
Love it.
You got long hair, you know.
I used to play first base softball.
Are you serious?
Yep.
See, I said I'm looking for a first baseman.
Oh, can I take that position?
And you got the hair. Hair is important in baseball.
Whenever I put it behind my hat, people think I'm a baseball player sometimes.
And then you can put it in a ponytail.
Yep.
And I could see you playing first
Just
base.
on looks alone, first base.
Yes, first base, good guy.
Who's our center?
Center field. Who would center field be? You know, center field's an important position.
It is.
Center fielder is versatile.
Maybe like a Willie Hunter.
Oh, Willie's fast.
Willie's very fast.
Oh, wow.
You might want to.
Wow.
You might want to bump him up to something else.
I could see Willie Hunter. I was going to say Red Band because Red Band's pretty good at being helpful, but he doesn't like sports. But he might be good doing the video board. He might be good at game operations.
I think we put Red Band, yes, on video.
Yeah, have him do the video, and then somebody plays the organ. Who you play the keyboard?
Avery Pearson.
Avery Pearson on the organ.
Yeah.
And then somebody needs to sing the national anthem and God Bless America and the seventh inning.
Brent Morin.
Brent Morin's a singer.
He
can sing the national anthem.
National anthem,
And then we'll bring
Brent
it back out for God Bless America. Then we have
Bert maybe as a catcher.
Bert
Bert
Kreischer.
Kreischer as a catcher.
You know what? He's a big guy, big target, and he's a veteran. I can see him behind the plate. We'll go ahead and put Bert back there. Seventh inning. Somebody's got to lead us in seventh inning stretch, like a celebrity coming in saying "I love it," and they'll sing. Who would that be? A celebrity. You know, somebody who appreciates stuff. We're gonna have that. We have military hero of the game. Military hero of the game. Who is in the military? Rob Riggle. Rob Riggle was
Rob Riggle.
and he's from Kansas City. You're from Kansas
Yep,
City.
yep.
Rob was in the Marines, and every baseball game they honor the hero of the military. Rob Riggle.
Now
would
we
be
need a
that.
peanut guy. We need a peanut guy.
Guy passing out peanuts.
Guy passing out peanuts in the game.
Schizo surfer.
Schizo surfer passing out.
I think Don would be like one of those guys, like on the dugout, running on the dugout. Don Barris.
Don would be a great first or third base coach.
Got you. Don would be a base coach.
Yes,
There you go.
that's a good one. So I mean,
we're naming a lot of players.
We're naming a lot.
Any girls on the team? Because girls could be a
We
part
could
of
do that.
it. I think there's some girls who like baseball. Sarah Tiana could help
Sarah
keep
Tiana
score.
would be good. Yeah,
She could be the help.
she could even be a coach. You never know.
Yeah. You know what? She might be able to analyze something like a swing.
At Color Hat Flies,
Don't know them.
what % gay are you currently?
You know, I'll tell you what.
Do you get that question a lot?
I don't. It's one thing I don't like. I'm not a big fan of those questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why. Because
Because you say something in your act that you are what % gay?
well, I said 10% gay.
10% gay.
Because back then when I was hanging out with everybody, it was all fun. Let's joke around. I was just doing. I wouldn't say it by my own personal act. I wouldn't say I'm 10% gay because even in a joking way, because it's just not part of my act. But when I was doing podcasts, like if I do a podcast and Sam Tripoli brings in porno stars, what are you going to talk about? Probably porn.
Right.
So that's how these things
That's where
end
it
up
started.
going.
Okay.
So when people go 10% gay, I go, is that from my act? Where did that come from? These things come from me going, I'll play around.
Riffing on a podcast.
Yeah. And then you end up like, that's the one thing people ask. And it's kind of annoying. I'm not mad at you at all, but it's like, because it has nothing to do with my stand-up set.
Right. Well, then
But that's the one thing that people, and when people say that, it does rub me the wrong. You can edit it out if you want.
Well, this next
It's
question.
just because it's not even like something that's not even me.
Right. Well, this next question I'll cut out then.
Okay.
It was one of the top questions from a lot of different people.
What is
and
it?
You don't have
What is this one?
do you eat ass? A lot of people.
Now, how did that come in? Now, where does that from?
I have no. Well, I might go with the 10% gay thing, but they could be referring to women. They could be referring like.
See, again, that's why. Again, I don't think ever in one of my stand-up shows I've said that.
Right.
I've never.
Maybe
done,
somebody's just curious if you are into analingus.
Here's the thing. Again, that stuff like that 10% gay, that all came from Sam
Riffs.
having porno actresses on, me joking about that's when all those like, oh, everyone's into all this other
Yeah,
transsexual.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll play it. I act because you remember the movie Bachelor Party?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy is like he thinks he's a fall. It's a guy, a girl, and it's a guy. That's like one of the running jokes. I'm so good at joking about that. People think, oh, it's real. That's what happened.
That's a credit to you as a
but
performer.
it's annoying.
It
It's
can be.
because it has nothing to do with my stand-up. It has nothing to do with anything I've done outside of that little thing. So it's something I just got to live with. But I know where it comes from.
Yeah.
But it's not my act. I don't because I just not into that. I did that playing around, and I don't. And it's then you start. Then it gets in my head. Then I go, well, now I'm talking about it. See, it's out in the universe. That's why I don't even like to address anything like that.
Well, then we'll move on.
There you go.
Positive energy. It's pushing forward. That's all you have to do. Deflect. Keep your eyes on me.
Because
Positive.
look at right now, just to let you know. All these baseball players,
Mm-hmm.
these young baseball players now are getting busted for their tweets because they're using gay stuff.
Right.
Gay this, gay that, F this. I don't think that's good. I think that kind of talk is not good. It's like bully talk. And that's what I associate it with. And it's like, it's bully talk. And there are bullies. So I don't even want to, I could feel it even like just joking about it.
Yeah.
And it's like something I don't want to be a part of. And it's like, it's more on them than on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just comes up all the time. I go, okay, whatever. And then you start thinking, is that what it is? And it's just like, creates his own thing. But I'm just telling you where that came from.
Okay.
See how I got derailed? That's what happens when somebody outside of my comedy world starts doing so, like a
Try to
question.
do that. Well, this is I like this question.
Okay.
At Spirits Outside, which is ironic. You're just starting. How do you continue to stay positive throughout, even if you have self-doubt?
I'm not always positive. I'm just telling you that positive energy works. I'm not like saying I'm positive all the time. I'm saying I know that being positive helps. You could be negative and still put out energy. So I'm into like, you got to put out some energy.
I 100% agree with that.
Hopefully it's positive.
Yes.
I'd rather have negative energy than no energy. Give me something.
Something to work with so you can maybe turn it.
Yeah, if you're giving me no energy, I'm going to drive myself, it's like make me nuts. If you're giving me negative energy, okay, let's tweak that.
I always say with audiences that I would rather have an audience hate me or love me rather than walk out of there and be like, that was okay. That to me is the worst thing you can say to me as a performer.
Right.
If somebody asks like, what do you think of that guy? And it's like, they're okay. That to me is way worse than like, oh, I can't stand that person, or oh, I love them. You know what I mean? When it was just bland.
Well, I don't like. I mean, and I'm sure there are people like can't stand me or can't stand or don't get it me, but I don't like that. It's not doesn't make me feel good, and I kind of like, to be honest. I wish I would have I probably like the sports world better. It's like I'm doing comedy because I'm good at it. People seem to like when I do it and I have fun with it. But it's, it's like the people, I don't like to make people upset. I don't want to be around that.
Right.
I like to stay away from negative stuff. I'm hard on myself anyway. Now I got to have some guy who goes, he's not funny. It's like, I just don't care. I don't even want to put myself in there. But you have to do what you do. Yeah. You would have somebody like you or hate. If you're going, he's okay. You're not making
You're not making an impression or strong enough. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to be strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's energy. If you ask anybody, it starts out with energy. You gotta give us that. Then we tweak and
Take it
and go.
morph it into something good.
Yeah.
At rpacheco92 on Instagram.
Okay.
They just asked, how's your sister and your mom doing?
Great. My mom, I see her every couple weeks. She's doing good. I'm going to see her this weekend. I help out. She's down in Palm Desert, walking Daisy, doing that. My sister lives out in the valley. She does her thing. I don't see her all that much. Everyone's got their own personal lives. So Stephanie's good. My mom's good. Daisy's good. I'm good. I'm happy. But I am, it's like I am susceptible to, I'm an energy guy. I pick up on stuff, which is good and bad. And I don't like. Again, it's like I think we do have a problem with bullying in this country, in this world, and I don't think it's good for comedy. For certain, like it puts some people, like makes them tentative, makes them like shut down.
Yeah. Well, that's what's hard about the current generation of comedy that we're in, is that we can see any comments online, like maybe after a show or after you put out something out there, where if you maybe used to do a TV appearance, you just kind of like, maybe there was a review or something, but it wasn't so specific where individuals could reach out and be like, I don't like this, or it's very interesting. I feel it's a hard, different time. Like we were talking about before the podcast, it's a necessary evil to be on all these platforms all the time and be on and all that stuff.
No, I don't read comments. I don't Google myself. I'll never do that. I don't want to look at comments.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of, most people would say don't look at the comments, I think. I don't know. Some people do, some don't. You're better. I don't Google myself. It's just not a great feeling for me. I mean, I am self-conscious. That's why that whole like 10% gay stuff, I'm not a fan of it. Just not. One, because it's not me. It's like asking me about something that I don't even do. It's from like 10 years ago or something. What was I going to say? Yeah, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What was I saying? I forgot.
We were just talking about the bullying and the...
Yeah, I think it's a problem because I have to be comfortable to do comedy. I didn't do comedy until I was done with baseball. I'm around baseball guys. It didn't make me want to do comedy. It didn't like, hey, I'm going to do comedy for you guys. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be funny in front of you because I don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
So when I'm very sensitive to people. Like, I'm a Gemini also. I'll just shut down. And I'm a good guy. I bring positive energy.
It's true.
I bring experience. I bring knowledge. But I have to protect it's almost like drumming. Like,
I think we actually have a caller calling in.
Okay, here we go.
It's all it says is it's a Gemini is calling in.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm eager to hear it.
Hello? Gemini, is that?
Hello?
Hello? Is this a Gemini that's calling in?
Yes, it is. I'm a Gemini.
Okay. Well, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm not too familiar with. Are you representing the actual sign? Like you are the Gemini?
What'd you say?
Are you the Gemini? Are you the Gemini sign? Is that who's calling in right now?
Yes, I am calling in the Gemini sign. Both of us are calling in to speak to you guys.
Great. Now, I'm not super familiar with you, not to discredit all the stuff that you've done and who you represent for people, but what exactly would you say is a Gemini?
Oh, it's easy. It's the twin. One of each. Why? One time you're one happy, one sad. One good, one bad. One nice, one mean. One good, one evil. One Jewish, one Islam. One God, one Satan. Real simple. Right down the middle.
Okay. So high highs, low lows.
Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas.
Okay, now you're talking my language. Now, Gemini, do you have any advice for me as a person who's living in this current generation?
Positivity.
Negativity. Okay, negativity.
Happy.
Happy.
Sad.
Okay.
You take the good, you take the bad.
Okay.
What do you get?
Hopefully more good than bad.
Gemini.
Oh, you take the... Okay, that's like your credence. You take the good, you take the bad. That's Gemini.
Both. Up, down, left, right.
Are you doing the cheat code to Contra right now?
It's Grand Theft Auto 4.
Wait, the Gemini plays Grand Theft Auto?
Oh yeah, high score. 2200.
That's pretty good if I know anything about Grand Theft Auto. Well, Gemini, if there's anything else you'd like to say before we go, we're about to do the final segment of the show.
Positive energy. Visit me.
Visit you? How do we visit you?
I live in a neighborhood.
what neighborhood do you live in, Gemini?
It's trees,
There's trees in this neighborhood. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
bushes, bonsai bushes.
Bonsai bushes. Okay, that maybe might help us center on the geographical location. Okay.
You just want to hang out. I'm still in character.
No. I appreciate it.
Yeah, send us Gemini.org.
Okay, go to Gemini.org.
.edu. GPS.
Okay, a lot of extensions. So I'll try them all. Thanks for calling into the show.
You got it.
Wait.
Wait,
These are hard. Who's this Gemini?
I don't.
That's hard to do sometimes, but I'm very in the moment. I got to stay through it. I got to stay through it.
I love the Gemini calling in.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm out of my, it's different. It's different.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that. That's my favorite thing about the show is, it's a chance for me to play and riff, and sometimes the comfort zones get a little gray in the areas, but it's fun always to see what my friends do with it. You know,
but I'm
what I mean?
not. I mean, you're good at these characters. Like you're really good. I try to do the Chuck E. Cheese. I'm not the voices, and I'm like, it's
I
hard.
actually like the voice the Gemini called in. I don't know.
I was
if
just
the two
playing
of
like
you-
an old little Asian guy.
Oh well,
I don't know why, but like a little Asian guy, like a Mr. Miyagi type,
worked.
like like a Buddhist character, Chinese zodiac. So I was like figuring that's what that guy was.
Okay.
The bird scooter guy was fun. It was good. I had some good, like I said, there were some good ups and downs with it, but I don't normally do character work.
Well, that's why it's a treat to have you on the show.
I'm not good. I should be better at like playing with others.
You're great. I've had a blast. This brings us to our final segment.
Here
Brody.
we go. Final segment.
Sax talk.
Yes, Sax talk.
Sax talk. So, Brody, I prepped you before the show. You're going to share a story of a sexual encounter, and I'm going to play some sweet, sweet saxophone underneath while you do.
Well, I have to, think this out because it's a podcast, and I have to, think of situations where I had a sexual encounter. Well, go ahead. I'll give you one.
Okay. I'll follow you along with the saxophone whenever
Okay.
you're ready.
All right. 2, hello? So, do I sing or talk?
You can.
Do most people talk?
Yeah, most people talk.
Okay, I'll talk.
Yeah, most people talk.
So, I mean, if you want to say, this was a sexual encounter, and this is not something that you would, normally hear. Everyone hears it the other way around. And I think it's pertinent because it's in the news with what's been happening. I was 6th, 7th grade, maybe 8th. We'll settle on 7. Settle on 7. And I was in an apartment building. And a couple girls lived down the hallway who would tease me. I would call it flirting. I'd walk by their apartment while I was emptying the trash, and I peered in through the kitchen window. Hey, it's Brody. Stephen Brody. Yes, it is. What are you doing? I'm emptying the trash. Well, why don't you get in here? I go, whoa, my mom thinks I'm just emptying the trash. Well, empty the trash and come back. Okay, I'll do that. I come back. I knock. They pull me in. I remember the girl's name. I think it was I want to say Sherry and Carrie. And they basically made me show myself. because that's what kids do. But these girls were older. 2 grades older, which add up to 4. Taking advantage of a nice guy. Oh, he's 10% gay? Really? See, these are the stories people don't hear. But they want to hear, oh, Sam Tripoli bringing out the porn people, this, that. And I saw the movie Bachelor Party. What happens? It's funny when he's fooled. So people think it's real. But they're not in my world. So they say, you know, let's check it out. And I said, okay. And they said, get in the room. I go, what? Now I'm uncomfortable. Get into the room. And then I went into the room. And then I know people I got to keep this. I have to keep this. I mean, it's not that bad, but I have to keep things clean. I mean, I'm saying I went into nothing happened bad, and I have to keep it clean.
You don't have to. I mean,
I just don't want to believe me. I'll get in trouble. I have female fans. They're not going to want to hear any kind of like Brody escapades. But I'll tell you,
well, if it's honest.
But I mean, it's honest, yeah. And then I'm embarrassed to talk about it. I just don't really want to. Fairly embarrassed. But the girls were, touching. And, that sort of thing. I feel like, here's the deal, Jeremiah. It's hard for me to do this because I think I'm old-fashioned. And I'm sensitive and aware. And I know what I like and what I don't like. So I'll let you know that I had an interesting time. The girls were definitely the aggressor. There were scissors. And something happened. It felt good. But I think it was wrong. Was I ashamed? No. But it was cool. And there's really no going back after that. So that was kind of that experience. And I have to be very careful as a guy who's a male, 48, 2018. This is a popular podcast. I don't think I have the skills or the abilities to deal with any kind of, backlash. But it was still interesting experience. And that's the one that comes to mind. Now let me just say something to Jeremiah. I just that's how I just feel like I couldn't.
That was perfect.
Oh, really?
That's perfect. Yeah, you only need to share as much as you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Leave the rest to the imagination.
I just feel like there's really not, you can just get in trouble these days. Like,
sure.
With any little thing, I just don't want to even. And I have fans. I have like female fans.
Of course.
So they would like, oh, Brody, I thought I was your first.
But that's
what I'm saying?
That's the movement behind. That's the biggest complaint is girls being like, I thought I was.
Yeah.
Well, I want to wish you a congratulations because you actually just released recently on Amazon a 1-hour special.
You got it. Yes, it's on Amazon. It's on iTunes. It's on other platforms. I did a 1-hour special. It's more like 47 minutes, but late night at the Comedy Store, kind of just captured what I would do on a late night spot. I would say for that special, everything I did on that special, I feel pretty good. I mean, everything that we did, I feel good about. I felt like I got everything out of that, what I wanted to get or what I could get. I squeezed everything out. It wasn't, because most specials, you're doing it at like 8 or 9 o'clock. You got a packed audience, everything, the lighting, everything, ding, 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 perfect, boom, smile faces, this, that, hit your jokes. Me, I just wanted to create that late night situation that I deal with. Going up at the end, close to midnight, after a crowd has been like a packed room, and then dwindle it down, because that's reality. And then I would go out there and do my stuff. So all those elements involved, and then with the moving parts, and then editing and directing and all those things that I wasn't the director and I wasn't the editor, but I was able to like get my vision across.
Yeah.
But the vision was like, I almost had to tell them, it's not slick. This isn't slick.
Right. You can make this raw and like look,
Yeah, I had to. I added some things in that gave it, because even they've not done something like this necessarily.
Yeah.
Or I understood that I'm doing it late at night, so
Yeah, which is not usually when specials are taped.
But those are the spots I was getting mostly.
Well,
so
there
I
you
said,
go.
let me do something with this.
And make a unique experience out of it.
Yeah, I took a typical late night, which is unique for others. Nobody sees that. They don't see like the late night stuff that we do there at the Comedy Store, which is comedy. Comedy doesn't have to be a packed auditorium.
I mean, I did a set as David Bowie for maybe 20 people on the original room on Wednesday.
Yeah, so you're on there. Yeah, so people think comedy, it's
Super glamorous maybe sometimes.
Yeah, glamorous, slick, everything's mapped out and perfect, and the audiences they're all there and all ready to go, and they're all the fans. A lot of times you're performing, they're not your fans. So if somebody's doing a 1 hour special, chances are that the ones you've seen, a lot of those audience members are fans.
Yeah.
Whereas, maybe if you're doing a 15-minute spot within one of those specials, they may be everybody's fans. So that's but I made it my own special with all. So I was happy with it. I just made it my own. So I felt like I got a bunch of my jokes in, and I got some silliness in, got some drumming in, some appearance, some familiar faces. So I felt good about it, definitely. But it was something I wanted to get done. I felt like this has been something I'd been working on for almost 3 years. Because I'd done it so many, after doing that spot for a year and a half or 2 years, you have to go, okay, I got to capture this. So I can't stop doing it and go to somewhere else. I got to kind of stay in this holding pattern a little bit. So I've been a little bit in that late night, doing this late night spot holding pattern, because then it came out. I want to promote it some more, but then eventually, ideally you're going to play in larger audiences or different. I'm already thinking about my next special, but
that's great.
I felt like the uniqueness of it, what comedians have to deal with, I felt like I captured that as best I could.
That's awesome. Is there anything else that you want to plug before we go?
Just my, you can hear my podcast. Got to get you on Brody Stevens Festival of Friendship and Sports. Yes, you got it. Having fun. That's on All Things Comedy. I'm over there, of course. You could find me on the road in October doing some shows. I want to do some baseball shows. That's my goal for 2019. I need to go out on the road, and I'd like to do some baseball tours. Also, I have Valley Vibes on All Things Comedy. We have the Reseda edition, the premier Reseda edition. People like Valley Vibes. That's another one. If I feel like the last few things I've done are mine, and I feel good about it. It's not like I'm doing it. I understand working together with people is great, but I also have to follow my vision on some things. And so these last couple little projects have been good with that. So all of that, and I just try to have fun and be positive, stay positive. No, it's not easy. No, I'm not always positive, but I know that it works. And then I've seen it through the years
Yeah.
in sports and the Comedy Store, because I take a lot of I've done 3,000 television audience warm-ups. I'm a big sports guy. It comes from that. Don Barris, Jimmy Kimmel Live, thousands of warm-ups. He's a sports guy. Tony's a sports guy. Sports matter. And I try to tell people, like, that's my attitude. The baseball training, the pushing from even Little League in the Valley, growing up and then playing baseball at Arizona State, then learning about visualization and then applying it to shows and seeing it happen live on set where, you know, it is about energy. It is about pushing. It is about like going. So I try to share that with people, and it seems to be working. And my stand-up I enjoy.
Well, I feel like it definitely comes across, and you've had a very positive effect on me, and I treasure our friendship and
Yes.
the many talks and hangouts and riff sessions that we get to have at the store.
You got it.
Late night, and I love you, pal. Thanks for doing the show.
My pleasure.